Hi, my name is Uma Bains. My pronouns are she, her. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I'm a musical theater performer.
Hi, I'm Krystal Kiran, and my pronouns are she, her, and I'm joining you from the unceded territories of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish First Nations here in Richmond, British Columbia. And I am a musical theater performer, educator, teacher, and just lots of different hats.
So, my first question is why do you think curiosity is essential to propel you in the performing arts industry?
I feel like curiosity is essential to life, and I feel like that's how we continue to grow as humans and has how we continue to expand. And for being a musical theater practitioner specifically, we bring a lot of different elements of ourselves to our work, whether it's through our voice, whether it's through dance, through acting, text. And so it's essential to be asking ourselves questions and asking each other questions and having conversation and dialogue. And I think that's what brings art to life, especially in the space of theater when we're, showcasing human behavior in situations on a stage in front of an audience.
So, my
So,
next question is how has curiosity sparked interests in other passions besides theater, and sort of how have you benefited from that?
I've asked myself a lot of questions like when it comes to work in theater about why this and why that. And I feel like once I started doing that in other areas of my life, um, if it was in other professional pursuits or in academia or with relationships or, with other projects, has it's opened my eyes to so many possibilities. And I've always been somebody who's fought against labels. And so I think when I've asked myself, like, hey, what if I could do that? Like, what if nobody placed any limits on me, including myself, if I actually let myself put in the effort and work towards that goal, what would happen? And
Mhm.
because of that, so many cool things have
My
happened.
next
And I think,
question is about the pandemic, and for many of us artists, it may have stunted our willingness to trying new things and especially trying to be open to curiosity and letting that happen. So, do you think you could speak on how that may have impacted you and how to get out of that rut or mindset?
yeah, interestingly enough, when the pandemic hit, I was already at a point where I was a bit burnt out, to be honest, from what I was doing. I'd been kind of going for several years, and so grateful and blessed to have had the opportunities that I was having. But I was definitely at a time where I just needed to rest. And interestingly enough, like, the entire world needed or, was put in that position at the same time. And so for me, I really went inwards because the break from work was imposed on us. It's not like, like it's just now 2 years later and theaters are finally, for the most part, starting to open up and doing shows. And now I'm finding myself on the other side of the table. So more in
Yeah.
directing and behind the scenes and working on productions from that aspect. And I think this pandemic really has given me the time to be able to go back inwards, ask those questions about, okay, I've been so grateful for the career that I've had as a performer, and I intend to continue towards that, but in a new way, in a new way. And I know for me, it keeps me curious and engaged when I'm working with community and young people. I, to be honest, like I think for me, my mindset during this time, I haven't felt stunted. I've felt that it's been an opportunity to grow and that growth wasn't necessarily going to be comfortable or super or painless, but you know, being willing to kind of go down that road, ask those questions, and really contemplate like what I'm willing to sacrifice. And so,
Mhm.
yeah, that's been what it's been for me. And but what about for yourself? I'm curious. Like,
Yeah. For me, I think that there was this inordinate amount of pressure for some of us artists to sort of create and you got to be like on your toes doing stuff. You always it seems like we always have to be doing things, and I think that that pressure is it really does affect how you perceive yourself. And so I think I really had to step back and be like, this is time to reflect, but it's not time that I necessarily have to create. And
yeah,
so I think that that's reminding yourself about that is super important, not to be too hard on yourself for that. But um, and those are my three questions. Thank you so much. This is
thank
great.
you. It's been a pleasure. And I'm so